Welcome to French Kiss and Tell. We're here with a couple guests where we talk about relationships in Miami. We talk about dating and how it is living here. So we're here with Caitlin, and Caitlin, tell me your name, your age, where you're from, your profession, and your dating status.
All right, my name is Caitlin Manfred. I'm 25 years old and I'm from Westerly, Rhode Island. I'm a veterinary technician. I work at a cardiology institute for animals right now, and I'm single.
And we have Jasmine.
My name is Jasmine. I'm from Seattle, Washington. I am 23 years old. Part-time retail, part-time crypto, and it's complicated.
It's complicated. All right. Well, I mean, this is Miami. A lot of things are complicated. So, I mean, you fit in. And where are you from?
Seattle, Washington.
Seattle, Washington. All right.
West Coast.
And how long have you been here?
1 year.
1 year. How's it going?
It's cool.
It's cool? That's
Yeah.
it? That's all you got?
That's all I have for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long have you been here?
I moved here a year ago, actually almost 11 months ago, and I love it here. I originally told my family I was only coming here for a year or two, and now I can't see myself leaving, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that good?
I love Miami.
Really? What do you love about it?
Everything. I mean, I came from Rhode Island, which is a really small, boring state where everyone knows everyone, and now I'm in a big city where there's a lot going on. It's never boring.
So you're out in the streets a lot.
I wouldn't say a lot. You can only really handle like 1 or 2 nights out a week in Miami. But
when you first moved here, how often were you in the streets?
when I first moved here, I was going out, like, I work 4 days a week, so I was probably going out 3 nights a week. Like, every night that I didn't have work the next day, I was going out. And I felt like I needed to keep up with everyone here. There's always something going on, so I was saying yes to everything, and that tired me out really quickly.
And what were you doing? Like, what kind of, were you going to boats? Were you going in clubs? Like, what were you doing?
Yeah, I mean, so my very first night in Miami, me and my roommate were like building IKEA furniture with face masks on. Like we were just like trying to like settle in, and
Why face masks?
we just thought it was a chill night. We didn't know how Miami was. It was our first night here, and we were just settling in. We had just driven from Rhode Island, so we had done like 8-hour days. So we had driven 8 hours that day and got here. We had mattresses like on the floor, like that was it. We didn't have furniture yet. And so we were like building furniture, and then this promoter just messaged me and was like, "Hey, you're in Miami, like come out with us." And I was like, okay, like, guess we're going
Before
out
you had a
tonight.
bed. Before you had a bed, you were in the
I had a
streets.
mattress on the floor, and I was like,
You
well,
were
I
in the
said,
streets.
I'm going to be drunk tonight, so I'm going to pass out on this mattress. It's fine. It's going to be more comfortable. So we scrubbed our face masks off, put on some makeup, and he was like, put on a dress and some heels and meet us out, and we did. And then,
So he told you how to dress?
yeah, there's some rules here.
Yeah.
There's dress codes.
All right, we'll get back to that. Jasmine, tell me about when you first moved here.
When I first moved here, I drove from Chicago with my boyfriend, and I don't know, I feel like first time we didn't really do anything. I think we went to like Target and we bought a mattress. So a little different story.
All right, so boyfriend.
Yeah.
And you saying it's complicated. Is that the complicated part?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So are we going to be truthful here today, or are we going to like...
I mean, yeah, but we don't need to get into detail.
Okay, can we talk about you going out in the streets?
I go to the club with my friends sometimes, as of recently.
And so when you first moved here, you didn't go out?
No, not really. Like, just like dinners and stuff with my boyfriend, but not like really going out.
And now how is it different with you? Like, so it's complicated. So how did you go from boyfriend to complicated? Like, what are we doing here?
We are in the process of breaking up.
My condolences.
Thank you. Yeah, so.
How's it different?
I mean, it's different in the sense of like the living situation and like what I do for fun activities. Now I feel more free to like go out and experience
And be bad?
what Miami has to offer. It's a little more fun.
It's a little more fun without a boyfriend?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. So if you had a boyfriend so like, your boyfriend didn't let you go out? Like, what is this? Like,
I think it was just complicated.
it's not cheap for men to go out in Miami, and I feel like
Right.
he didn't necessarily always want you going out without him. So it's hard. It's hard to have a boyfriend
Yeah,
here.
I think that it's hard to like, especially being like in a fresher relationship, it's hard to like maintain that trust and like preserve that like fresh.
How long were you with him?
relationship. We're like a year and a half now, but I guess it's now
No, not anymore.
happening. I don't know.
And so you moved to Miami, you break up.
I mean, we were here for like a while together,
What's a while?
like a year and a half.
At one point, did you want to break up?
I think at the point where, well, I went to New York with my best friend without
A guy or girl?
a girl, but I just like, I realized like how much fun it is to just like do my own thing and like, you know, like not have to think about what are we cooking for dinner, like.
So why'd you get a boyfriend?
Because I wanted one at the time.
What do you want now? Like, so now that you've been through that boyfriend, let's say you go 6 months to a year here, what are you looking for in Miami at this point?
In Miami, I'm like strictly looking for fun at this point. Like, I do not want a relationship in the next 5 years. I have other goals that I'm focused on, and like, it's me, and anything else comes second.
So if you meet a guy, like what's the situation when you meet a guy though at this point?
I mean, I feel like, as you said, Miami isn't really a place for relationships anyway, and I think that like most guys aren't really looking for something like super long term. So I'm here to have fun.
You're just here to be in the streets and
Not
is this
streets necessarily, but like
Yeah, what connotation do you have when you say that?
I
What do you
mean, in the
mean by
streets- in the-
define the streets.
Yeah, define the
the
streets.
streets mean you're out here being bad.
You mean we're hoeing around? If we're in the streets, we're hoeing around.
Well, there you go. I didn't have to say more.
I don't think that's a
Have you
Requirement.
been through a whole phase before?
no comment.
So do you think this is your whole phase? You can go through this?
No, I don't think so. I think this is just me like taking ownership and responsibility of my life and like choosing to do what I want to do when I want to do it.
Okay. All right. And if that means being a hoe, that means
This
being
is
a
my
hoe.
girl boss phase.
Yeah, but that means at some point, like being a girl boss is you control your sexuality, right? So you can
Right,
go.
but that doesn't mean being a hoe. It just means having
But you
control
can
over
though
my-
if you want to.
Right, I have the option. But
Exactly.
That's not
I mean, like it's
happening.
nothing wrong with like figuring yourself out and out here like trying to like I said go through your whole phase. So you gotta get out your system sometimes. Like sometimes you gotta understand what it is. So the next time you get in a relationship, like hey, I've been there, done that, and now I'm ready. Maybe you weren't ready the other time, with your ex-boyfriend. Maybe you weren't
Yeah.
ready.
I just feel like I was never the kind of girl that grew up like playing like let's get married and like whatever. And I
But you just played that though.
okay. We're just gonna but like like I'm okay with like I'm actually okay with being single for the rest of my life. And
Really?
and not necessarily having like a hoe phase, but just like being like independent and focusing on my career. Like I think that's more authentic to myself and my personality. And like
Do you want a family?
I don't know. And the thing is, like, I'm not against having a family, but it's not a major goal of mine. And it's not something that I would compromise, like, career and success over.
All right, I'm
And
gonna
I
get back.
think
I'm gonna
that's
get back to you
part of why
because
I'm
now we're
like-
moving to Caitlin. So Caitlin, tell me, like, what are you looking for? Like, do you want a family? Like, what are you doing right now? Like, what's your goal? Like, what are you doing out here in terms of dating?
I mean, eventually I want a family. Like maybe that's not something I think about right now. But eventually, yeah. I think that no one comes to Miami to settle down, and that's definitely not what I came here for.
What'd you come here for?
Fun.
What's fun to you?
I don't know.
Are you going through a whole phase? Is it a whole phase right now or no?
I also don't necessarily think it's a whole phase. I mean, like I've done my thing. Like I went to Penn State. I've been through enough.
The whole phase.
I've been through the hoe phase. I'm not necessarily here for that. Like, so honestly, I think more of my hoe phase was like high school. Like I discovered sex. And I was like, let me get this out of my system. And then I got to college. And I was like leaving bars, and I was like, I want to go home with my roommate. Like I know the people that I care about. And I'm gonna go home with them. Like it wasn't about that. But and like Miami as well, like I think that there's certain situations you get yourself in, sure, but I don't think it's a hoe phase. Like I'm definitely not like going out of my way to hook up with people, anything like that.
But the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, in the right situations, absolutely, yeah. Not refining, not like holding myself back from that.
But that's you taking control of you're taking your own power back. Like you're saying like, hey, this is who I am.
Yeah, I like when I was at Penn State, I was in a relationship for like probably 2 or 3 of my 4 years there, and I got out of that, and I was about to study abroad in Australia, and I was like, I don't want a boyfriend before I go to Australia, and then I got a boyfriend right before I went to Australia, and like so I was in a like relationship for college, Australia, and I was moving here, and I was like, I don't want a boyfriend in Miami, and my best friend was like, you're gonna get a boyfriend in Miami, like you do this every time, and I haven't for the last year, so. But that's Miami's different. Like I don't think Miami's meant for relationships. So
Yeah.
so.
And so, when do you think you're going to be ready though for a relationship? When you move out of here?
Maybe.
Do you plan on moving out of here?
I don't know. I got here thinking that I was only going to stay for a year or 2, and right now, like I said, I can't picture myself leaving. So. Yeah.
So I'm saying if you can't put yourself leaving and it's not a relationship place,
yeah,
that's
I
a
don't know.
rock and a hard place. So what are you
Yeah.
doing?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that right now.
So I mean, yeah. So what do you want? Like, what's going through your mind? Like, what is it?
I'm having a lot of fun right now, and I am in love with my life here being single right now, and it would take a lot to change my mind about that. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I think it would take a lot.
Yeah.
So it's not really. So you're both not looking for relationships. You're looking for fun, right? That's what you're looking for. What is fun?
So when I say I'm not looking for a relationship, like I also am not into like when I feel like when you say you're for the streets, like I'm also not like into like random hookups. Like I feel like if you're gonna be having good sex with someone, like you need to be comfortable with them. So it's like I'm not trying to like fuck a different dude like all like I am down for a consistent hookup, but I don't want like if I'm going on someone's yacht next weekend, I don't want to explain myself. You know, like I don't want to tell you like, hey, like I'm doing this. Like if I don't text you back for the day because my phone died or I lost, like I don't want to deal with it. So it's like I'm here, I'm having fun, I'm doing my own thing, and if I have a consistent person I can be comfortable with and do my thing with later, great. But I don't want to label.
What if this person does the same thing to you? What if the same person you like this guy, right? You meet a guy, you like him, and he's like, I'm going on a boat with these girls, but you like him.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, have fun.
Yeah, the guy I was seeing for like the last 6 months, like I mean he did that on a regular basis, and if you're doing what you're doing, you need to be okay with him doing it. And I think that that's something that at first might be a little bit it might leave a bad taste in your mouth, but like once you're happy with what you're actually doing, and you can genuinely say that you're okay with that.
So you don't care about him hooking up with other girls?
It's not that it doesn't like bother you. Like there's definitely been times where when you can figure out what girl it is in your head, like you're comparing yourself to them a little bit, you're bothered by it a little bit, but you like, yeah, no, I can't be mad at it. Not at all.
So you can like multiple guys at the same time.
I think that makes it easier, honestly. That's the thing too. Is like I'm not hooking up with multiple guys at the same time, but it's like if I have my eyes set on one person, it makes it really hard not to catch feelings for them. So it's like if you're out doing your thing and meeting different people, then it makes it a little easier to be like, hey, all right, yeah, this guy's great, but there's other great guys out there too. Like it's not the end of the world if this guy's out.
So it's options.
Yeah.
So a lot of options out here, and so. What's going to keep you from going to other options, though? It's like if you don't want a relationship, you don't mind him hooking up with anybody else. So is it like, at some point you're going to like these guys to have sex with them? So you're having sex with multiple guys in general, though?
No. So basically, like my situation was I was hooking up with this one guy for like 6 months, and then I met somebody else that I really liked, and I just stopped talking to this guy. Like nothing. We didn't like have a problem. Like there was no fight. There was nothing. It was kind of. If I texted him tonight and said, come over, he probably would. But it was just kind of like, all right, like this is not where I'm at right now. I'm going to kind of like slow ghost you and leave this alone. And I pursued this with somebody else for a while and was trying to see where that went. So it's like I'm not about, I don't know.
Yeah, I think to chime in a little bit. Like,
No, please do. Please. I was coming to you next. So please.
I'm definitely from a more progressive city, and a lot of my friends practice like ethical non-monogamy, which is another word for
please.
like actually I don't know the difference between polygamy and polyamorous, but basically like hooking up with multiple people but being very honest and transparent about it.
Are you
And-
honest and transparent?
I have not practiced this kind of dating style personally, just because I've been in like monogamous relationships. But I'm into it, and I think that like it's a really great way to like, I guess, articulate kind of what Caitlin is saying, because you can have like more like short-term monogamous relationships. It's kind of just like less commitment and like more honesty, and I think that's really important for like the modern era.
And the other thing is, it's not to say like, all right, if I've been hooking up with that kid for 6 months, if something happens to someone else one night, it's not like I have to go be like, hey, this happened.
Yeah.
Like, that's weird. Like, he doesn't care what I'm doing. I don't care I'm not gonna tell him that. Like, that's whatever. But it's just like, I don't think it's classy to be hooking up with multiple people at the same time. That's not something I'm into. It's like, I want to be comfortable with one person, whatever. But like, if it happens, you're also not guilty about it. Like, when you like are out and like, if someone like whatever, if the moment happens, like, you don't need to feel weird, which is why I don't want the commitment. I don't want the label. Like, you can have a person, but it doesn't need to be a guilt type situation.
So what does it take for a guy to get you? Like for him to be like, for you to be like heads over heels for him? You're like, oh my God, like, is it the sex? Is it the money? Is it like, what is it for a guy to get you?
So here's the thing. So I definitely don't have a type. Like, looks wise, I definitely don't have a type. Like, if you ask any of my friends, like, literally, like, opposite ends of the spectrum. Like, it kind of, and there's even been guys where I like, my friend tried to set me up with someone once, and I was on our first date, like, went in the bathroom because we went on a double date, and I was like, what are you doing? Why would you set me up with him? He's so ugly. And by the end of the date, she was like, you're in love with him. And it's like, I think I catch a vibe, and people grow on me a little bit. So, so there's no really physical appearance type deal. It's kind of personality, and if I can like joke around with them and be comfortable with them, I guess.
And how do you meet them? How do you meet guys, or how do guys approach you, or like, how does this work? How does the dynamic work when you meet men?
So
like, is you're out in the club and they're like, hey?
So I'm trying to think about like, I guess the different things that have happened here. Someone was a promoter that I've been going out with, and it's just like, you're drunk around them enough, and like whatever, it ends up happening. I met one person on a yacht.
So in the streets.
Yeah.
And they come at you.
And
you come
and
at
that's the
them.
thing is like, it's like I technically like I have Hinge. Like, I like honestly, like, when I'm home in bed and like at night and like I'm like lonely, I'm like, I'll swipe through Hinge like just for like the compliments and for whatever. But I've never actually met someone off there. Like, I feel like that's too forced. I feel like that's weird. It has to happen pretty naturally, I think.
All right, we're gonna come back to that, but
Yeah.
let's go to you. So, how do you meet men, and like, what's your
I think when it comes to meeting men, I'm not really at the stage where I'm doing that. So can't really say much there.
okay.
Like, I'm not on any apps. I'm not like really.
And how does a guy get you?
receptive.
So how does a guy, if so right now you're not meeting any men, is what you're telling me.
Right.
So when you go out in the streets, you're not meeting anybody. What are you doing in the
I'm
streets?
meeting people, but I'm not like actually following up in any sense.
You're not pursuing it.
Yeah.
What if you meet a guy you really like?
I have to wait till it's less complicated.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I mean, it's
I think that if you explain the complication a little bit, it'll make more sense. Like,
I don't need.
sharing a household. You're sharing a household.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
okay,
Like, that
yeah.
complicates things. You
I
can't
guess I'm
really
assuming like everyone knows, but yeah.
Yeah, no knows that. Like,
Yeah, so like currently I'm sharing a living space.
So you're living with your boyfriend, but you're broken up.
Right, so my ex, if you will.
Okay. So
But
yeah,
it
that could
also
complicate
feels
things.
almost wrong to say ex because we're just like, you know.
not much has changed, obviously.
Exactly.
You're still
That's
living
the weird
together.
part, is that just like not a lot has really changed since like breaking up, because there has not been a physical separation. So
And you told me like you're not looking for a guy, like, so
no, I mean, not until everything.
companionship. You don't like. I mean, you're still with him, but at some point you're gonna get lonely, right?
I mean, I think it's hard when you live with someone like to really get lonely, and like I'm finally meeting like girlfriends and stuff that I haven't really been able to have that interaction and opportunity with. So I'm enjoying like my platonic friendship era.
So
if
like
you
a
will.
dick in a glass case.
I literally cannot
Never heard
comprehend
that
that.
saying.
Yeah,
I've
It's like it's an emergency. So if something happens,
Oh,
dick in
like-
a glass. Like, so you break it, and you know he's there. Like right now, he's kind of like there hanging around until you get lonely, or until you go out and like you get drunk and your defenses come down. Then he's there.
I'm gonna say no.
You gotta say no.
Yeah, it's a no for me.
All right.
I mean, I've seen you more in the last 2 weeks than I've seen you in the
8
9 months that we've been
yeah,
friends.
literally.
So,
I
mean,
like, I'm like,
I think he's a great guy. Also, just to be upfront about this, I think he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Awesome dude, but just like it's not easy to be in a relationship in Miami, and I
exactly.
think,
And I think like at this point in my life, it's just not what I want or what I need and what I'm looking for, and like what I'm willing to give. So.
And you say you don't want a family. Well, you don't know if, I'm sorry, you don't know if you want a family.
The thing is, I'm not going to prioritize a family over everything, because I know there are girls that like have grown up playing like, let's get married and you be my, like, you know, like when you're like 5 years old. I literally never did that shit. And like, I don't see myself compromising like the rest of my life simply to have a husband and to have children.
What's your ideal relationship?
I mean, I'm also into women, so it's like, in general, like the whole like standard like husband, kids, whatever is like,
What's your ideal relationship?
I don't know, like, because part of it is like, I don't know how much of it is like me needing to perhaps go to therapy and unpack different things, but I feel like it'd be really cool to have a partner who is like, you see them like a week every month or so, and like live the rest of your life. And I don't know if that's like toxic, and like maybe I need to grow as
Good
a
catch.
person.
Good catch, by the way.
But like with where I'm at right now, I'm like, that would be really fucking cool. And like,
I mean, that's
that
what
would be
we're
kinda
here for. I mean,
fun.
like at some point, that's what we're here for. So I mean, if that's what you want, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. So I mean, if
It's not necessarily the goal though, because like I feel like I need space and time to like
process everything.
exactly. But if you're asking,
Yeah, like
I think
right
that would
now,
be fun.
like in like your ideal world, if you can say this is what I want, what do you want?
To be honest, I want to have space. I want to have freedom. I want to just like make my own decisions, have my own responsibility.
Because you're in a relationship right now, you feel trapped. So right
exactly.
now,
I don't
kinda,
want to explain anything
right
to
now.
anyone.
No, right now she is.
I
but
mean,
maybe,
like,
maybe
not
a
right
month,
now, but-
no, I mean like a month later it could change.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean that's fair. You're still trying to figure it out.
Exactly.
But, I mean.
Plus,
you
I
got
see
time.
myself. I know I'm not going to be in Miami past like December, unless
Really?
yeah, unless I
That
take
breaks
school
my
online because I need to finish undergrad and I have not. And I was gonna go to FIU.
Go to FIU.
It's
You're
literally
breaking
like-
my heart.
It's such a
She just dropped this like while we're right here. Like she's like telling me that
okay.
she's leaving.
If you like Google
I
it
wasn't ready
though,
for
like
that.
as a national ranking, it's like low key a really bad school compared to UW. Hey. University of Washington though, like I checked and I was like, oh, like
Can you
UW.
not do University of Washington online though? Stay here.
I could, but it's like there's a lot of things up in the air, and it's just like I feel like everything is kind of pointing towards like Miami was fun, it was cool, you had a good time, but like maybe it's not for you, you know?
Why is it not for you? I thought you just said you like being in the streets.
You can, first of all, I did not say like being in the streets. Secondly, you can be in the streets anywhere. So
Miami's a different streets
Also,
though. These streets in here are rocky, potholes. They got construction in them. These streets are
They
crazy
got promoters.
out here. Yeah, these streets are crazy. These ain't regular streets.
When Jasmine first told me that they broke up, like, or that they were breaking up, I was stressed because I was like, that she's gonna leave. Like, I knew that you weren't in love with Miami when you were in a relationship, and
Yeah.
then you got out of it, and then you were like going out. And I was like, maybe she'll fall in love with it, maybe she'll stay. And now you're springing on me that you're gonna leave, and my heart.
I'm just like, my lease is over in October, and like, I don't know how much could really make me stay. I would have to really come into like a lot of money and
What if you meet a
social
sugar daddy?
life. No
sponsor.
No.
No.
That's what make you stay. So look, get on your job, take on some yachts, let her meet some sponsors, and maybe she can stay. So that's on
I'll
you.
look you up.
See, look.
But like, yeah, for now, priorities are like finishing school, focusing on my career. As I mentioned, I'm in like the crypto space, and I feel like I haven't really had time, like mentally, like that mental space to like allocate to.
Maybe if you stayed at Mr. Jones, you could have time.
I don't even go to Mr. Jones, like.
I got it, Mr. Jones. I'm trying to drag her with me. Mr. Jones is great.
But yeah, I've been like, also it's just like, it's like my first month like being like single, if you will. So like, I'm having a good time.
See, you're gonna get addicted, and you're gonna be like her. in
I'm
the
not
streets.
though, because the thing is, I'm the kind of person.
Not nice. I didn't like the connotation that you said that
I'm the kind of person that requires like a lot of self-care and like personal time. And I think that's also why I'm like not really for a relationship, is because like I just need like me time. And it's like kind of hard to explain that to some people, like that.
No, but understand, like
I
at
just
some
need
point
time to like
you got
overthink and like process.
You got a boyfriend, right? Out of nowhere. Why'd you get that boyfriend?
Okay, so I was in like a very toxic relationship. Like, we're not even gonna go there. But I was like, you know, like I was basically like, universe, if you give me a boyfriend, like
A different boyfriend than who?
yeah, like if you give me another boy, like if I am to take another boyfriend, he cannot cheat on me. That was kind of it. Cause like
That was your
That
requirement?
was kind
Don't
of
cheat
it.
on me?
You were not asking for much.
I was not asking for much, and let me tell you, this man will not cheat on me. So like I
But
love
you dumped him,
I love
so-
that for us. But
So
also,
good guys lose. That's what you're telling me?
I think like I realized, like at first I was like, ooh, I want to be single, but also like if I have a boyfriend, he just has to be loyal. And then it was like, okay, universe is like, here's a loyal boyfriend. And I was like, ooh, this is fun. I like him. Like I see something. Like we can have a good life, whatever. And now I'm at the point where I'm just like, oh, I don't think I need a boyfriend. And so not to get astrological, but I will. I'm a
Let's hear it.
Sagittarius, but I feel like I have very Gemini tendencies. And like it really takes me going one extreme to realize things. Like at every single point in my entire life, it's like I have to go like all the way to the other side to be like, oh, realization, even though the whole time people are telling me like this is wrong or this is what you should be doing or no. And I'm just like, no, it's fine. And so I'm like, I was with this super toxic guy, and then I was like, ooh, new boyfriend, like this is so much fun. And everyone's like, well, why are you moving to Miami? Like it's across the country. Like all these red, like not red flags, but just like, girl, like, are you okay? And I'm like, yes, like,
He's the one? Did you think he was the one
like
at some point?
yeah. And then like now I'm just like, oh yeah, maybe that was a little bit mentally ill of me to do.
I'm glad you did it.
But we did
Glad
it.
you did it.
I'm glad I did it too, because it's like also I'd rather experience this kind of thing at this point in my life than like 5 years later, you know? Like,
But in 5 years, you say you don't want anyone anyway. So, I
Right.
mean, like, so at this point, you don't want anybody.
but in 5 years, I'll just have like an organic farm and be like hosting people to like work on my pea patch.
It sounds like a hippie orgy to me. That's what it sounds like to me.
Maybe like minus the orgy. Yeah.
Hippie stuff, yeah.
But like I'm into the like hippie lifestyle. I'm not necessarily into it. I'm not against it.
Okay. And so, you said you like women too. So, like, you'll date a girl too?
Yeah.
And so, you'll date a girl more likely than a guy right now? Or is it just no dating at all?
It's more on the no dating at all, but I feel like my next like I feel like I'm in the more like similar phase as Caitlin, as like I'm looking for like more short-term things. But at the same time, like if I am to pursue a long-term relationship, I think it would probably be with a woman, like at this point with where I'm
Can I
at.
ask you a question? Have you dated a girl before?
I have not dated a girl before.
Sounds like that extreme thing again.
Yeah, you're like, let me go.
Maybe I'll let you know in a year or so. But yeah,
We'll
I
come
mean,
back to
I've
the friendship
definitely hooked up
podcast.
with girls. I've definitely had like situationships.
Women are tricky.
But
I'm going to tell you from experience. They're not as easy as you think they are.
I mean, yeah, but also we'll get there when we get there, you know?
Caitlin hook you up with that too, I'm sure. So on the yacht.
Yeah.
She's a plug. She's a plug for everything. What else you need? She's sugar daddies, women, like whatever you need. She
Yacht
got
party.
that. She has that. So you like nice guys or jerks?
No
when I say just like
comment.
nonchalant, like
Let's
guys-
pass it this way.
I mean, no one likes to admit they're like jerks, but I would just say there's a certain point where guys are so nice that it's like, this is cringy, I'm not going to answer that text
What's
message.
so nice? What's so nice?
I don't know, like there's certain messages
Like, good
that's
morning,
like, if I
beautiful?
wake up to a good morning, it's not even necessarily good morning, beautiful, there's just like certain shit I wake up and like, that's weird, and I'm going to text you back like in 5 hours once I figure out what to say to that, because like, stop.
What's weird? Give me an example. What's weird?
I can't think of one right now, but there are certain things, it's like, that was a little too much right now, I just woke up.
A paragraph?
Yeah, I can't eat breakfast in the morning. My stomach is unsettled in the morning. I don't want to hear your corny shit, you know? Like, I need a few hours to settle in.
I
And then I'll
think-
text you.
For me, I like a duality. Like, I think you can't really be like fully nice guy or fully jerk, but I think it's like, it's about like context and like, you know, playing
Well, I
both
agree.
sides.
Also,
What
you
you
don't
mean?
talk to
What
me
you
for
mean?
half
Like,
an
I
hour.
don't
So you want to
spice,
play the
but,
game? You
like-
want to play the game? You want to play a game with them?
No, just like, I think it's like also there's like setting boundaries and setting expectations in the beginning so that like everyone's clear.
How you going to set expect? Do you have a conversation with him like, hey, this is what I want. This is what I expect.
I mean,
What kind
why
of- what
not?
you mean?
Like, this
do you
is-
really do that though? Stop playing. Do you really do that?
No comment.
Exactly. So then, so you talking about something you don't set the expectations because you don't do that in the beginning.
Okay.
So you're playing the game. So like you're playing the game.
I guess I'm playing the game.
Yes, you are.
I feel like all right, there's something that's too much, and there's some things that's like, all right, if you don't text me at all, I don't think you don't give a fuck. So it's like,
But you like
yeah,
that.
No, I don't. It's not like I don't like you don't give a fuck. Like I want to know you. All right, you woke up. Like exist in your life a little bit. Like hello, like whatever. But I don't
But
want
hello-
some good morning, beautiful. I dreamt about you all. Like, that's weird as fuck. Don't do that to me. You know? I don't know.
I don't know. I think
That's a lot.
So you
it
want
can
like
be cute.
you want like, hey, big head. Like that's what you want in the
Like
morning.
basically, like hey, like I don't know, like I want you to know I exist, but also like.
Like how often does he text you?
Well, so here's the thing. It kind of depends. I guess it depends on the status. Like I feel like right now, while I've been in Miami, I don't have like situations where I'm texting someone all the time. Like when I've been in Miami, it's like I text them maybe once a day or like or whatever, like every other day, and I'll be like, hey, like blah blah blah, like I'm doing this weekend. What are you doing? Like we keep each other posted on our week because in Miami, I'm not aiming.
Because you're in the streets. That's what happens when you're in the streets.
I
That's
guess,
what you do.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean,
guess
there we
so.
go. There we're
Like,
getting
I didn't
somewhere.
consider myself. We learned something this podcast. I am in the streets.
That's what we're
Here
here
I
for.
am.
We're here to learn something.
Here I am.
Realizations.
Yeah.
And you're close to it,
Self-acknowledgement.
and you'll be there in a minute. That's what it sounds
I'm
like.
on the sidewalk.
No, you're like I said this before,
I'm
but
in the
you're
streets, you're on the
I'm
sidewalk.
across the
No.
street.
bike lane. I said you're bike lane.
I used to bike commute a lot, and the weather's just too crazy here.
There's definitely bitches that are more in the streets though. Like there's girls.
No,
that
no.
for
You're not
sure.
painted lines,
There are
but you're in the
definitely- There are
streets.
definitely girls that are like fucking different dudes every weekend. It's like I think about
every
same people
day,
the last
every
6
day.
months. Like that is not normal Miami behavior. I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's not streets for Miami.
I mean, it's different levels because Miami is about money and status. You know, women are trying
What
to like.
is status in Miami though?
It's
Like,
clout.
yeah,
It's just
there's-
like there's,
What is-
You'll learn, I guess. Caitlin will teach you.
Okay.
I mean, I'm
Let her
just
explain
saying,
it.
like,
Let
of
her
course.
explain it.
For me, it's like I have certain friends that like have been here and they're not like they don't hook up with that. Like before this month, like you had a boyfriend, you were doing your
Right.
thing. And I have friends that fuck someone different every week, and it's like I feel like they're for the streets. I feel like you're in a relationship, and I was like I'm somewhere in the happy middle where I hook up with someone I'm comfortable with for 6 months, and I feel like that's acceptable. I don't think that's for the streets, but maybe it is.
I mean, like,
I don't know.
so like you telling me 6 months you only hooked up with one guy? Stop playing. Like,
I mean, I've been here for 9 months.
Like
I've
one
hooked up
or
with-
like
I've hooked up-
three?
No, I've hooked, in the last 9 months I've been here, I fucked 3 guys, and 6 months of that was one specific person. It was one before him and then one after. So I mean, like for Miami,
no,
that's
that's
Yeah,
pretty good.
that's-
No,
that's
pretty
alright,
good.
you
That's a
know?
good stat.
You're in
Those
like
aren't
the
bad
1%.
stats. Yeah, those aren't bad stats.
like, and I don't feel like it's wrong for a girl to be in the streets. Like, if a girl
No, yeah.
hasn't gone through a whole phase, I encourage it because I've got one of my best friends from home that is, she's only been with a few people. She had a long-term boyfriend in high school, a long-term boyfriend in college, and now the guy she's with, she thinks she's gonna marry, and I'm like, you should explore your options.
You may
before
be a
do
hoe.
that.
You sound like you
You
should
should
be a
come
hoe.
visit me.
like she talks about it sometimes, and she's like, I really love him, but I wonder what's out there sometimes. And I'm like, yeah, because you never knew what's out there. Like, figure it out before you get into that. Like And it's kind of too late now because she's been with him for 2 years. You can't be like, hey, I want to explore my options 2 years in, like, and then I'll marry you. Like, it's too late now. Like, so it's like I've explored my options. Like, I don't feel like that's my issue. Like, I don't feel like I need to go have a hoe phase. But
We're still
yeah,
exploring.
no, like I said, I want to be comfortable with the person I'm fucking. Like, it's not gonna be good sex unless you're comfortable with them. But I also don't want to label. Like, I want to do my thing and not feel guilty about it. Like, if I do kiss someone next weekend at the club, whether it's a girl or a guy, I don't want to feel like I'm cheating.
Right.
So you're fluid too?
Absolutely.
All right. I mean, that's a common thing nowadays. That's nothing out of the ordinary.
I don't think I'm into. I don't think I would date a girl, but like definitely I've done other things. Mostly
Like
with a guy.
threesomes?
Mostly threesomes. Mostly with a guy and a girl.
Okay. All right. That's normal shit like nowadays. So let's get back. Love or money though? Like, what do you
Absolutely love.
Yeah.
love?
Absolutely love.
I don't know. You've had love.
I had love, but it's definitely love.
So if somebody comes at you with a bag, he takes you to Greece. You don't like him like that. You go to Greece.
Greece is not like Greece is cheap right now. So
That's true.
let's just be real.
The plane tickets, the hotels, the food, nothing.
My
really
mom
like.
is literally begging me to go to Greece right now. And I'm like, sorry, I have to work so I can
So
pay
what?
rent.
Where do you want to go? What's some place that like a guy comes to you, he's like, hey, let's go here. Choose it anywhere in the world.
I don't know.
What you mean you don't know?
Hard. You go.
God, I've got a lot. So Fiji, Portugal.
I feel like those are not very expensive.
They're not
though.
super expensive, but those are places on my list. Fiji, Portugal, Maldives. Like they're
Ooh,
not,
the Maldives,
not
yeah.
See, there we
super
go,
expensive, but
Maldives.
They're fun. They're gorgeous places.
I would also
I'm
go to
down for that.
Japan. That's kind of expensive.
I'm supposed to go to Chiang Mai,
In Thailand?
I was supposed to go there for 5 weeks to work with elephants. Actually, that was not with anyone.
Oh, we talked
That
about
was
that.
post breakup.
Yeah.
Me and my ex were together for 2 years, lived together, broke up, and I planned that trip. And then COVID happened, and I couldn't go. That was like my healing trip, and I couldn't go. And I actually just recently got that deposit back.
You
And
got the refund?
I messaged them.
Thank
And I was
fucking
like, hey, I was
God.
like, hey, I was planning on going on that trip, and now I'm not anymore because I'm paying this much money a month in Miami. Like, can I have my refund? They sent me my refund, which is nice. I still want to go on that trip eventually, but now that I'm living here,
Let me know.
paying the amount of rent,
I love Thailand.
So look, transition to my point. You meet a guy, he's like, hey, let's go. I'm taking both of you to Chiang Mai.
Absolutely not. That's my trip. That is for me. That was a trip that I planned for myself to get over my ex-boyfriend. Like, that is
My thing is
something-
like, okay,
No.
let's go for a month.
You want to go to Greece?
And
You
then
want to go to the
that's it.
Maldives? You want to go wherever else? Fucking fine, I'll go with you. But that was a trip that I planned
like,
for
let's
myself.
have fun, and then
But you don't
back to
like
reality.
he's not that cute. You kind of like him, like, but it doesn't matter.
If he's not that cute and I kind of like him, then I'm not going. But if like at the time I'm like, ooh, I like you, then like yeah, we can go for a month, and then like
Kind of like you, like what? Like you like what he can do for you. You like the things he's doing. Like you're having fun with him. But it's like that's
not necessarily. I think that like as an individual, I'm the kind of person, so not everyone thinks that like all humans have good intentions. Personally, I believe that. I think that like we are born with goodwill and we have good intentions. There are people that believe that like everyone is bad and everyone is like doing like shady shit,
all right.
whatever.
So how's this getting to our point?
Okay, right. So that being said, like I see the light in people, but also like it fades. But like if I'm like seeing the light in you and we're like having fun, whatever, like yeah, we can have fun. But like once it's over, it's over.
So are we going to Chiang Mai or not? That's the point.
So we can go to Chiang Mai, but do we exist in America? I don't know, it depends.
I get it, but I mean, like that's the whole thing. Like love or money. Like, are you going because you like the experience, or are you going because you like the guy?
I think the experience is liking the guy, but it's not necessarily long term. I'm not promising to like you for forever.
Maybe he doesn't like you forever. That's not the
If I
Okay,
can step in here for 1
period.
second.
So like we can do that then.
If I can say, so I had this happen like kind of. So I was supposed to go to San Diego. I was living in Rhode Island. I was supposed to go to San Diego with two of my girls, and they both I canceled last minute. One of them got COVID. One of them like got fired from their job. They couldn't afford to go. Whatever. So I was like, all right, well I'm going by myself. I ended up couching on the couch with this kid that we knew from high school, and while I was there, I met this kid while I was out there, like my first night there, and we ended up spending the whole week together that I was there. And I like was like, all right, I'm going home, and I flew home, and like 3 days after I got home, he was like, do you want to go to Mexico together? I was like, sure. So like I met this kid for a week, and then we went to Mexico together. We spent like a week and a half, 2 weeks in Mexico together.
Did you
And-
fuck him before you went to Mexico?
Oh yeah, in San Diego, absolutely.
So that's
I
easy.
spent a week at his house in San Diego.
Would you get flued out knowing that, you know, what's your expectation? So like, you know what, like, if you meet a guy on Instagram, or I don't know however
I
you
would
meet,
not go meet him on Instagram. I have never.
I met my ex-boyfriend on Instagram. No, actually I met him in person, but
got
then I
an
met him on
Instagram.
Instagram after that.
what do you mean? How do you meet somebody in person on Instagram after that? That doesn't even make sense. You either meet him on Instagram or you meet him off of Instagram.
It's called, we met in Vegas and I was blacked out, right? So like I don't remember meeting him, but he remembers meeting me. And then I guess I didn't follow him back, so he unfollowed me. But I didn't know because I didn't have that stupid app that's like unfollow or check or whatever, right? So then like 6 months later, he was like, also my profile picture didn't, this is like very confusing, but my profile picture didn't have my face in it. So I was following him, he was not following me, but I was watching his stories because I was
stalking
following him. No, I was just following, I never unfollowed him
Did
in
you
the
like
first
him
place.
at this point?
I never even consciously met him. I was blacked out when I met him. I'm just like still following him because then I thought I pressed follow and whatever. Do you get what I'm saying?
Keep going.
Okay. So like 6 months later, 8 months later, whatever, he's like, who is this person who keeps watching my stories, whatever. And then also I finally
Did you hook up with him that first when you were blacked out?
No.
Okay.
We just like, he was like, what's your number, whatever. I gave him my Instagram. That was it. We never met up again. So like we exchanged contact information, but nothing else. And then, okay. And then, okay, so then I changed my profile picture because it was like clouds. So he had no idea who I was. Like he like forgot about the Vegas thing, and we live in different cities. So it was like, I don't know who this person is that keeps watching my stories. I changed my profile picture, and then he's like, oh, this is the girl from Vegas. So then he messaged me because I also went public because I had a private Instagram. And then he DM'd me, and then that's when we started talking, and then we started dating, and then we moved to Miami together.
Wow, that was quick.
So yes, I have met someone off Instagram in a sense.
Huh.
There's hope.
I don't know what kind of hope you're talking about, but I mean,
Well, but it
for
ended.
some-
So is there hope?
There is hope for others.
okay. Just take that for what it is.
Right. Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
so what I was saying was like I met this kid in San Diego. We hooked up for a week. He invited me to Mexico. We like hung out in Mexico for a week, and then I left Mexico being like, all right, that's probably it. I'm never gonna see him again. And I talked in Mexico about moving to Miami. He was living in San Diego, and he's an entrepreneur. And he called me like 2 weeks later. He's like, hey, he's like, don't think this is weird. Like, he's like, I know you talked about like moving to Miami. He's like, I'm also gonna move there. Like, it's a good place.
That's very weird.
Well, no, but he's like, it's a good place for entrepreneurs right now. Like, this is like,
Nah,
it's true. No, it is the best city in the world. I looked this up.
I might
It's-
take the benefit
Hold
of the doubt.
on, though. Hold
I'm gonna give this man
on.
the benefit of the doubt.
Hold on. You meet him. You go to Mexico together. You tell him you're moving to Miami.
Yeah,
He doesn't talk about Miami at all.
not at all.
And all of a sudden he's
No,
telling
when
you
I
things
mentioned
about.
Miami, actually, he was like, "Why Miami?" And I was like, "Well, like it's warm, like it's been boring here with COVID. Like I want to be like whatever."
And you has nothing to do. You thought
and he
you
said,
think-
"Why don't you move to San Diego?" Because that's where he was living. And I was like, "No, that's too far from my family."
Even weirder then. Like what
And
he's
then I was
already
like, "I'm moving to
saying.
Miami," and then he's like, "All right, whatever, you're moving to Miami." And then we go to Mexico, and a week later, he's like, "So I'm gonna move to Miami too." And he had more money than me, so he could do it like a month later. Like he did this ASAP. So it's like it looked like he moved here before me, but I had talked about
So
this.
did he
way-
move here?
Yeah. So.
Oh shit! So
Is
what's
he
going
still here?
on? Yeah. So
Oh,
what?
yeah.
So what's the
Do you
problem?
still
Yeah.
see
What's
him?
up? Yeah. Like tell him. Oh, you still talk to him?
So we met in San Diego. We hooked up for like a week. I came home, thought I was never gonna talk to him again. Like was like, bye, nice to see you. And then he was like, you wanna go to Mexico? And I was like, sure. So we go to Mexico together. We spent a week in Mexico. I come home and I'm like, bye, nice to see you. Whatever. Think that's it. And then he's like, I'm also moving to Miami. And I'm like, okay. So he moves to Miami before me, and I'm like, I need to go there and look at apartments. Like, I'm gonna come stay with you. So I came and stayed with him, and that was the first time that was a little different than the first two experiences. Like the first two experiences were like kind of vacations. He was like taking me out, showing me around, whatever. He was like really working while I was here. He was like not home, whatever. So me visiting him here, I was like, I'm not sure I'm so into this guy, whatever. But I visited in Miami, things were fine. And I think he kind of got the vibe that like when I moved here, we would be a thing. Like he thought like,
Well, what kind of vibe did you give him to make him think that?
I don't think I made him think that. I just think it was like, all right, we've been doing this San Diego, Mexico, we're in Miami. Like I think he thought like, all right, you're moving to Miami, this is gonna be a thing when you get here. We didn't talk. Like it was like from June I visited him. I moved here in September. Like we probably.
Were you acting like I like you? Were you saying like?
No, we probably messaged each other on Instagram stories, but we didn't talk regularly. It's not like we were like texting. It's whatever. Like I don't feel like I made him think like we're gonna be in a relationship and I get to Miami. So I get to Miami, I move in, he's like, text me over. He's like, hey, are we hanging out? Like, let's go to dinner, like, whatever. I'm like, I didn't realize we were on this wavelength. Like, I'm sorry.
Did you have a conversation with him? No.
I got to Miami, and I have my toxic qualities. I got to Miami, I was a little bit lonely at first. I went to a few dinners with him, whatever. I spent time with him.
So you gave him hope?
For probably the first week I was here, yeah. I had my moments, and so we spent time together for probably the first week I was here, and then I built a life here pretty quickly, and
So you got in the streets and you were like options. That's why people break up all the time. This is exactly.
He's one of the
this is
three
why
that
Miami
I've
is
seen
bad.
while I've been here. Like that's like.
This is why Miami is bad.
I mean,
for
one of
relationships.
three in a full year. That's not
I don't
bad.
feel like that's that bad. So like
Yeah.
this is like someone I got here. I'm like, all right, like whatever. I like.
In Rhode Island, you'd still be dating him though.
No. So I met him I was living in Rhode Island. He was living in San Diego. And then I went back to Rhode Island. He's still in San Diego.
No, I'm saying like if you met this guy, let's say like you were still in Rhode Island and he decided to move to Rhode Island.
Absolutely, I'd be with him. It's
But
a different
Miami?
story. Miami's the dating game is not the same here. It's not the same here. So, so we both moved here. He moved here first, actually. I moved here. We spent some time together my first few weeks here, and then I got involved in some other things, and I cut him off. Like I said, I don't like having multiple things going on at once. So I cut him off, and
You cut him off?
I mean, it was like I told you, I don't like having multiple things going on at once. I'm not going to be hooking up with him and multiple other people, and he was not for me. Still, to this day, we're friendly, we have an association, but I'm not, it's not for me.
What kind of guy is he like a people person? Because like if you cut him off, you might have been like his only lifeline to like women. Like if
He
he's
moved
not
here before her though. So
doesn't
why would
matter.
he move
Like
here without
it
anyone?
depends. Like if you're not sociable and if you don't like have the money to actually do stuff,
He's got money.
he might have money, but
He's
like
got
does
money. He's got money, and he's got. I don't want to say too much. You know who's watching
Yeah.
this. But so he's got money. I think that he thought that there was gonna be more when I moved here than there was, and that might be on me a little bit. But I got here, and I was like going from what I was in Rhode Island. I thought going to him would have been like an upgrade for me. I was like, all right, this would have been it. But I got here, and I was like, this is not it for me. Like this is like
Miami's a bitch, ain't it?
there's opportunity out here that I
There's
didn't know there was. Yeah.
I don't know about opportunities, just options.
And I'm gonna admit my toxicity a little bit and be like, all right, like I see him after other things end, you know.
Oh.
I think he
so you
does
see
too.
him in
I think he
2023.
does too a little bit. I think it's like we both have each other there when there's nothing else around, and it's nice to have that.
Yeah, but he
No.
likes you more than you like him.
I can't say that. I don't know.
Oh.
But when we both have nothing going on, like we won't talk for a few months, and I'll be like, hey, like so that's
And
the
he's
other-
always available.
yeah.
But that doesn't mean anything because, like, as a man.
But as a man, you're probably you fucked someone else last night. You're still available. It doesn't matter.
Nah.
Yeah,
It doesn't, all right, so it doesn't always matter. That he could have fucked someone else last night, and he's like, "Oh, you want to hang on these? Sure, I'll be there tonight." So
It's
like,
male brain
here's
behavior.
the thing: is there are certain situations
but
I felt
listen.
bad for men in the past before, and I've learned my lesson because I have felt bad in the past for men before and been like, "I'm not treating them properly. Like this is not okay for me to be like whatever." And then I'm like, all right, like I hung out with them and like I shouldn't have done that because it led them on. They fucked another bitch the night before.
Literally,
they're not
men
upset.
do not
It's-
care.
It's okay.
Like,
For him to always be accessible though, nah.
okay, but just because he is accessible, it doesn't mean he really should be accessible.
You play the game, right? You told me. You
I
played
don't
the game.
though.
We just established that you played a game 20 minutes ago.
No, run it back.
Run it back, Turbo.
Show me.
We will. However, that's what I'm saying.
I'm
like,
admitting my toxicity. I know that not everything I do is right. I know that, but yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be there for me, like if I haven't answered your text in 4 months and you're gonna be there when I answer your text, when I text you and say, hey, like,
so you're using him.
how does he not know that?
that
I'm sorry, but how does he not know that?
'Cause he
I
likes
haven't-
you.
I haven't answered your text in 4 months, and
But
I
he
randomly
likes
text you and said, hey, what are
you.
you doing tonight? I think that means, hey,
That
I've been
means
busy for
he's
4
keeping
months
his
and
options
I'm
open.
not anymore.
Yeah.
No, he might be keeping his options open, but also to be clear, even if he's not keeping his options open, if I don't answer your text for 4 months and then I text you and say, hey, what are you doing tonight? What the fuck do you think happened? Like, what do you think I
Right.
was doing for 4 months?
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly.
I don't think I'm hiding anything. Like, you know.
No.
So are you texting him to
He's
hook up, or are you texting him to go to dinner, or have him spend money on you?
I text him and I say, hey, what are you doing tonight? Want to catch up? And he's like, yeah, come over.
Love that. It's up to him.
Your fucking call, babe.
So, and what does he say?
No, he says, yeah, come over. Hearts in it.
Oh, come over. I mean, so what does that tell you?
No, like I'm
And
just trying
I
to
think he knows this.
understand.
I don't think I'm hiding anything. I don't think I'm being
Yeah.
like. I don't think I'm leading him on. Like I haven't answered you in fucking 4 months. Like
I
I'm
agree.
obviously not into you. But if I text you 4 months later, like
Then maybe situationally I'm into you.
maybe a little bit, I'm sad right now.
So
I don't know.
if he started saying like, hey, like, no, I'm busy tonight. What about Tuesday and it's Thursday? How does that make you feel?
What time?
I can't answer that question. That brings out some toxic qualities.
Exactly. That's what I'm
that I don't
saying.
wanna
Like that's
talk
what I'm
about.
talking about.
I'm like shit. Maybe I like you now. I don't know anymore. I have no idea.
See, like all of a sudden now it's a different game,
No,
right?
It actually, I think it depends. Like it's like not on if I'm really into the person, I don't think I'm like that. It's like if there's certain people that I'm not actually into, and if they do that shit, then I'm like, wait, why don't you like me? And I question that a little bit, and then I'm like, wait, maybe I want you to. Like that's toxic. But there's most people I'm not actually into, and it's fine.
So you're into this guy then?
I was at first.
But now I'm talking about now.
Does he still live here?
So yeah, so this situation. So we met in San Diego. We went to fucking Mexico together. He moved here.
You moved here.
I moved here.
Then he followed you here.
No,
Oh,
he
no.
moved here
Hold on,
first.
hold on, hold on.
I talked about
He
moving here.
I know.
I know,
He
I
got
know.
here before you,
I
but he
talked about
followed you
moving
here.
He moved here first, and then he's like, if you're moving here, come stay with me."
That's
Like,
already a red flag,
I
though.
toured places, stayed at his place, whatever. I moved here, and like the week I moved here, I was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing tonight?" And I was like, "Bro, like, leave me alone. I'm busy. I'm moving in." And then I like.
So if he played it
So
different,
I met someone here that was very involved in that put him on the back burner, and he knew about it. Like it was a very public thing, and so he was still very open to it. He was still very okay with it. He's like, listen, when you're not with that person, I want to see you. And so I don't know. I don't know if that like, I don't think it necessarily is like disrespect for me, but it's kind of like I can kind of do what I want, and you don't care. So
Yeah.
like I don't know, like a little bit.
what would it change? What would he have to do to change for you to be into him? Like if he wasn't so thirsty, and he like was out here like
I don't
he saw
think
him
it's- I
with
think a
gorgeous
little
girls.
bit. I think it's some part of it is the sex. Like part of that's a big thing. I don't have an answer for that. I know that I have my own issues. I know that I'm toxic a little bit, and I think that's part of what's wrong with me is that I don't really know what I want exactly. Like I don't know for sure what I want, but I didn't get it from him. That's it. That's all I can really say to that. I don't have an answer. The sex wasn't where I wanted it to be, and there were certain points where I got him drunk and I tried to make him not about it. So like that was not there.
So
for
the
me.
sex was bad.
It,
So then why call him at
So the
4
first time-
months
the
and then
first
like,
time
hey,
that-
what's up?
Because the first time that I fucked him, I hadn't had sex in like 5 months. So it was good. The first time I fucked him, I was like, yeah, I had sex in 5 months. This is great. Like everything's gonna be good after
Dang.
that. But once I've been hooking up with someone else, I like called him and I was like, wait, that didn't do anything for me. I don't know what to tell you. So, I don't know. I think that at this point, I'm at the point where when I want companionship and I want someone to be with, and at least like someone I know, like I could literally text him probably today and be like, do you want to go away together next weekend? And he'd be about it. Like,
But that's a turn off or turn on?
it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of like, I don't know. I need to work my shit out with the therapist. I know this, but it's a little bit of both. It's like, I know you're there for me a little bit. I know that I have you to fall back on if I need to, and like we can go away together. Like that's dope for me. He has money, whatever. It's like, but at the same time, obviously, like that's not how I'm gonna end up with. I'm not into you like that, you know. So it's hard. It's hard. I got here, like I started hooking up with someone that I was very, very into, and he knew about it, and he also was a little bit like kind of too chill about it. Like it's like,
Was
I
the
know.
guy you're hooking up, was he toxic?
He was pretty famous, so it didn't really matter what he was doing. So it was kind of like, I'm gonna do this regardless. This other person knows, and if he's okay with it, great. I'll keep seeing you, but if not, I'm obviously gonna choose his favorite over you. So he didn't really have much of a choice, to be honest.
So let's say this famous guy, right? You hook up with him. Like, if it was a lookalike, would you have hooked up with this guy, this lookalike, or is it because he was famous and that's why you went to hook up with him?
So funny story about that is, I have this famous. I've always loved this famous person. Always, like since I was young.
The look or his talent?
I think just him in general. I think all of him, but like to the point where when I was in college, I went out with one of my college friends, and I was like, "This person looks like so and so." I said, "I'm gonna make out with them just because they look like so and so. This is the closest I'm ever gonna get." And I'm not kidding you. I made out with this person. The next day, my friend texted in the group chat, and she's like, "She made out with like so and so last night," saying like the lookalike name, and then it was like, also she made out with me. Like they were proud of it, and in my head, I thought that was the closest I was ever going to get to this person. I was like, I've been obsessed with this person forever. This person looks just like them, and that's it.
You hooked up with him or kissed him?
I mean, kiss them, that's it.
Why didn't you hook up with him?
I don't know. But I kissed them, and I was like, all right, whatever. And then later on, this ended up happening actually for real, and my friend was like, what the fuck, I can't believe they actually did that. And my
Manifest.
so manifesting for real. So the funny thing is, my mom was going through my old room in my bedroom and was like giving my old bureaus away to my cousin who like needed them. And she's like, I found this bucket list in your fucking bedroom table. It was from 2000. It said like in the corner. It was like lame as fuck. It said 2012 to infinity. It had the infinity sign, and it had like a list of things which are super embarrassing. Like most things on it, I'm like embarrassed that my mom even read those. But one of them was like, meet so and so, which is the famous person that ended up fucking. And then it was like, kiss someone famous. And I was like, you did both of these things. Like she's like to an extreme. Like my mom knows. I'm very close to my mom. I talked to her about my mom about these things. She's like, you did both of these things to an extreme. And so for my mom to see that, I'd be like, all right, like you fucked this person. You also like whatever. Like I believe in manifesting things for sure.
Yeah.
What are you manifesting?
Currently, I don't have a lot, but previously I have made vision boards.
Let's hear them.
It's more of a visual. Like I have several magazines and like cardboard cutouts of like literally like glue, scissor, like everything, the whole
If you
board.
saw your celebrity crush come in here, would you have sex with him?
I honestly don't have a celebrity crush. Like I couldn't imagine. Girl, I know yours, but like I couldn't actually imagine. When you said celebrity crush, no one came to mind. So,
Really?
Yeah, I don't really have one.
If you see a cute guy, how do you get his attention? Or girl. I'm sorry. Or girl.
But it's just like I don't know. It's not really about cute. It's about personality more.
You know if you're attracted to someone.
Right, I do. But like, there's like sometimes I'll see someone like, ooh.
Do you have a type? Do you think you have a type?
I mean, physically, yes, but it doesn't always translate to mentally or sexually.
What's physically your thing?
I don't know. I don't think I can describe it,
You're
but it's
so
like
physically, yes.
I can't. Yes, but like I can't necessarily explain it. But like sometimes I see someone, I'm like, but it doesn't mean that like I actually want to pursue them. Does
Why?
that make sense?
No, it doesn't. If you're like, oh, I see someone and like it does something to you, why would you not want to pursue something?
I don't know. I just like sometimes I'm like, damn, and that's it.
But why?
I don't know.
Are you scared of rejection?
Maybe. I guess
Well,
I've
you're
never.
perfect.
I've
so
never
don't think
considered that. Well, actually, okay. There's this one girl where one time I was at this like house party thing. I saw her and I stopped, like I couldn't breathe.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. All right. So what happened?
But also, I don't think that like her physically is like my type, because it's not necessarily like if I saw like her twin, I wouldn't necessarily be like.
So what
"Oh,
attracted
oh my
you
God."
to her?
I just like her.
But hold on though. But that is your typing.
I don't think that. No, I don't.
No,
think
like she is my type, but also she's not really like my type. Like across the board, she's not my type, because it's
well,
really.
well, maybe
it's,
she is your type. If
No.
she's taking your breath away.
Very
it's
far
her,
away from
it's her. It's not her. Damn.
I was like back there. I don't know how.
It's not her like her physically. It's just like literally like
Her aura?
Her specifically, yeah.
But you didn't talk to her. You just saw her, right?
No, I couldn't talk to her. I literally was like,
So that's what I'm saying. Like, how were you into her and you never even talked to her, or you don't even know what she's about, but you're into her? That must
I mean,
be your
I had
type.
talked to her previously, but it's just like, no, like girls that look like her, I'm not necessarily into. Like exactly.
How does she look? Like, what weren't you into?
I don't need to out myself here.
What you mean? Like, no, we're trying to understand. Like, nothing. We're just trying to
Looks-wise, who cares?
understand.
Who cares? Looks wise, who cares?
I don't know. I think that like describing her would be challenging.
I mean, like, was she looking fake? Was she natural? Like,
No, she's natural except for like eyelash extensions,
Okay.
which is like me as well. Like personally, I don't have
Hair color, like
I don't have eyelashes
Give
right
us
now.
something.
but yeah. No, she's like
Miami girls have fake titties, fake like. Tell
no,
us what she
no
has.
fake body. I think
Okay.
it's more just like it's not even her personality, because I can't say I really know her like that, but like her aura, just like the vibe she gives. She's
But you didn't talk to her, so how do you know?
You
Because
can
she's
tell when a
bad.
girl
Like, she
walks in the
intimidates
room. You
me.
can absolutely
She
tell when a girl
intimidated
walks in the room.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, like I saw her and I was
Absolutely.
like literally, like I said this already, but literally my heart stopped and I was like,
You didn't figure out a way to talk to her? Like, so
No.
why? Like, so if you see a cute girl, cute guy, like, you don't try to shoot
Yeah.
your shot?
Always
she's
talk
the
to
only
girls,
person who
right?
has affected me in this
Hold
way.
on, I'll get back to that. Huh? What?
She's the only person who has affected me in this way. But also, I don't think she's actually like the one for me. You know, like although she has given me this like shock, like she's also not the one.
And you're still, how do you know though?
I just do.
But you never know until you talk to them.
No, I do, because like I have her on Instagram. This should she be doing? Like no.
But also, I've read there's certain things that are like the person that stops your fucking heart is not the one. Like it's like the person that you meet, the person that's meant for you is like you're supposed to be a little calm with them. It's not
No,
supposed to be
I
fucking,
like-
earthquake to your system.
I think there's
That's
too
not healthy.
many like differences.
Okay.
I don't know. It's
Have
just
you,
like
have you had a conversation with her person?
I mean, there were like the very first time I met her, we almost had a threesome with her
Oh
boyfriend.
shit. Okay. Okay.
And then after that, it was pretty much just like ghost.
Really? So you did talk to her. So how would you meet?
I was like so drunk. Like, I didn't even really talk to her. Like, it was a long ass time ago. And like the time that I saw her in person where my heart stopped was like literally 2 years later. Like, it's embarrassing.
She weren't living in Miami yet.
No, she's in Seattle. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, we've been through the like unfollow, follow back, unfollow, follow.
Did you hook up with her? You hooked up with her?
We didn't actually hook up. I have like one cringe Snapchat video, and this is outing me as fuck, but whatever. But it's like, yeah. And then it's like, I don't actually want to pursue something long term with her. I don't really think it would be a good, like, adult relationship, if you will. But,
But you say you don't care about relationships anyway.
right. But, like, I have a little crush on her. That's it.
A big crush.
It's like my little fantasy. You know, like, everyone has their, like, celebrity
I
fantasy.
thought you had the fantasy though.
She's my celebrity fantasy.
I thought you did it though.
I did what?
You said you like. So did you hook up with her or not?
No, like, we were going to. But we didn't.
What happened?
And then everyone told me the next day, they were like, oh, they were trying to fuck you the whole night, like her and her boyfriend. And I was like, I didn't know that. Like,
but you would have had to.
I would have, but also
they
it was
missed
just
it.
like,
They
it was a
missed.
simpler time. I was young and naive. I think she's like 1 or 2 years older. And I was just like, yeah,
Oh, they missed.
it's okay though.
Yeah, I mean, you'll get another shot. You're in Miami. I'm sure you'll come across a Caitlyn.
I don't think-
I don't know.
I don't know, but like also it's fine. But I think she's like the prettiest girl.
So that's your type. Whatever this type is, that's your type.
her. Yeah.
What's your type?
I like genuinely don't like. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, there's been certain guys like I think the first guy I was ever in love with in high school was like this. He was bald as fuck. I think
In high school?
No, I swear to God, he was 15. He balded early. I loved him. Then
Like
there was-
genetically or
No, genetically. And then there was
Wow.
another guy who was like literally ginger. And since I've been into black guys, like I don't think I have a type. Like it's like ginger, bald, black, bald. Like I don't care. I don't care.
How do you like?
The
You
gateway.
see a cute guy.
No,
How do you get his attention?
there's
like,
no definition to that. There's no definition.
but
to that.
all right, like how do you shoot your shot?
you don't have to shoot. Literally, shooting your shot is posting an Instagram story.
No, I posted
Period.
I posted a story with my ass, and guys were like, hello.
Right. Like that's it.
So that's part of it. But in person, I feel like it's a little bit different. Like, in person, you meet organically, and you
Shooting
start
your
talking
shot
to
is
them.
like
But there are
extended
guys
eye
that I
contact.
don't think are attractive off the bat that I'm gonna talk to, and you're attractive, whatever. But I really think that like there are guys like it's like bald, you have fucking ginger hair, you have dreads, you're light skin, you're whatever. Like I think that like my like
we
my
got
friends
four.
in high school, there's nothing off the bat that they can list. They're like, yeah, like send us a picture of him and tell us about him, and we'll maybe list him on her radar. Like I don't know.
Does what he can do for you matter?
Define. Elaborate.
I can't give a good answer to that either because I genuinely, like, I know that what you're looking for is what am I looking for, and I can't give an answer to what I'm looking for. I think that I don't want anything right now, and I want people to understand that, like, hey, like, listen, I'm trying to have fun right now. If you're trying to have fun right now, that's cool. But at the same time, it's like, all right, also I'm trying to have fun right now, and I'm trying to, like, fuck the same person because it's like I'm more comfortable with you.
Right.
But also I don't want you to care. Like, I think it takes a lot.
So are you like grabbing one branch until another branch comes along? You grab that one, and then you kind of swing from branch to branch.
I've never considered this metaphor.
It's kind of a hard
Good
situation.
one,
Like
though.
I feel like the last situation I was in for the last 6 months we were in the same boat, and then I was like, listen, like I
or the
met
same
someone else.
tree.
We're in the same
Oh.
tree. Like we were in the same tree, and we didn't agree on all the same things. But it was kind of like I think you're a good person, you think I'm a good person. Like we don't agree on all the same things, like politically, whatever, and that's fine. But it's like.
Political.
But I'm
It's
okay with
hard.
disagreements politically, but I'm not okay with you not being a good person. Like if you're a good person, you care about people, that's fine.
But
if we
where
can
do you
agree to disagree?
distinguish between politics and being a good person?
So if I'm being very real, my mom's gay, so like I'm very liberal towards the gay side. I have a lot of cousins that are from Haiti, so I'm very liberal towards that side.
Interesting.
I like just like as far as like racism, like gay,
So
like
racism
I
and
pretty much everything toward the liberal side, and it's like I can see other perspectives. Like you're like, all right, like I'm a male, I got a girl pregnant, I don't want her to have an abortion, things like that. And I'm like, okay, I can understand that. Like you don't want a girl to have an abortion, but you fucking got a girl. Like things like that, I can get it, and I can be there to have the conversation. But if you're just against like morally being a good person, I can't be there for you. I'm sorry. So and that's honestly genuinely why the last guy I talked to, we ended. Like we were talking for like 3 or 4 months, and I really fucking liked him, and I didn't want to end things with him, but I had to. Like it was like my mom's gay. Like my mom raised me going to gay pride events, and he told me that was wrong. And it's like
Oh wow.
I
Yeah.
can't be a part of that. I'm sorry. Like if you don't think it's right that my mom brought me to events where it's like people are raising their kids to be there for like
Just
love,
love.
like
Yeah,
that's
love.
fucked
Right.
up. I'm sorry, but I can't. And so that sucks. Like I still honestly I've cried over that kid recently. Like I liked him, but I can't do that. you
Yeah.
know?
So if he had different ideologies, that would have been your boyfriend?
Absolutely.
Hold on. You just said you weren't looking for a boyfriend.
I wasn't looking for one, and
So
no,
but
but here's the other
but-
thing is I was not looking for one, but when I met him and when I was seeing him, I told my friends at work, I said, listen, I wasn't looking for this, but this might be it. And me and him talked for probably 3 months, and 2.5 months into it, I told my friends, I said, listen, I wasn't looking for it, this isn't what I want to come across. I said, but I'm not gonna give up on something that this could be it. Like I was like, I'm not gonna do that. He was still getting me going out, doing my thing, whatever. Like he knew I wasn't being a fuck. Like I wasn't fucking people while I was talking to him. But he said that shit, and I literally I was sitting on his couch at 2 a.m. I was like, all right, my Uber's here. I gotta go. I'm not attracted to you anymore. Bye.
Yeah.
That was
Good
it.
for you,
That
though.
was it. Like.
I respect that.
Yeah, but you know what? I like where you're going. You have your morals, and you stick by your ideologies. That part I like. We're about empowerment here. Like this again.
Right.
We're about for real.
We're about empowerment.
We are. At what point have I never
miss him.
said?
I miss him. This was a month ago this happened, and I still miss him on a regular basis. We were in Key West together a month ago. We were spending our time together, and it's like I was spending time with you because I fucking liked you, but it's like those things come out, and it's like I can't be there for that.
Yeah. So, but all I can think of, everything you both said, Miami's for fun, Miami's for this. But you just said you almost got in a relationship, and you came out here in a relationship, and you're saying you don't want relationships. And so, I'm confused about what you really want.
Me too.
No, also me too. I can't say that I'm not confused. I'm confused for sure. There's times I meet people, I'm like, wait, I really fucking like them. And I'm like, wait, you don't want this to stop. And there's certain times it's confusing, but I think I came out here with the goal not to get in a relationship, and I came out with the goal whatever, all these things, and it would take something really special for me to have one.
Right. I think that's the key point.
I think that's the key point is if you're
has
going to
to
be
be
in Miami,
sparkly.
the person needs to understand you were giving a lot up to be with them. I could be going on
What's
a yacht.
a lot? What's a lot though?
I could be going on a yacht this Saturday.
When does a yacht? When does Mr. Jones? When does
And
this get
it's not
old?
always. It's
When
not
does this
always-
get old at some point?
If you are in love with someone, I don't think it's. I don't think it's a. I haven't been there in a long time, but I just have to say, since I've been here, I want to go out on that yacht. I want to party. I want to go on those brunches. I want to do these things. And it's maybe if I knew someone that made me be like, hey, I would rather wake up this morning and be curled up in bed with him and order breakfast than do these things, that's a different story. But I haven't met someone that makes me feel that way. I
Well,
haven't.
you did. It just didn't work out.
In Miami, no. No, I
No,
knew
you
that.
just told me you just met a guy. You just said.
San Diego, I knew him from before I moved here. I moved here, I said, never mind. Absolutely not.
I think a lot is it needs to be worth spontaneity, experience, fun. I don't know.
So let's say at some point the clubs, the yachts, the streets get old.
You move out of Miami.
Intimacy,
You leave.
chemistry. That's a good one. That's a good one you don't hear in Miami often.
Well, so
Chemistry.
the other thing is I have, being at Penn State said, I don't want a boyfriend. And then I met someone, I dated them for 2 years. And then I was like, I don't want a boyfriend. I met someone that was going into living in Australia for 6 months. I didn't know. It's you say you don't want to meet someone, but then you meet someone and you're like, all right, this is worth giving up what I thought it was. The 2
Yeah.
years I spent at Penn State in a relationship the 6 months I spent in Australia in a relationship, like I could have spent those single, but instead I was like, listen, I met this person who's worth it. And so that's why my best friend was like, yeah, you said you were going to Penn State single, you said you were going to Miami or into Australia single, and that's different. Like you're saying you're going to Miami single, like I don't think you really are.
Keep going.
And like I was like you don't think I am, and I was like I thought I was in those moments, and I ended up being more serious about it than I thought. Like I was like no, like I was like really like I wanted to have fun at Penn State, I wanted to have fun in Australia, and neither of those happened. And I was like in Miami, like I was like I'm fucking committed to making that happen. Like I want to have fucking fun here. Like I don't care who you are. Like that's not for me. That's not like it's not worth giving this up.
Right.
And then when the fun's over, what's the plan?
Go back home.
Really?
I don't
me.
know. I don't have a plan.
Really? But I mean, go back home is what, December from what you said?
Yeah. Or October. My lease is over in October.
Really?
So my lease is over in October.
So you don't like Miami?
I like it, but it's a little too much. At
Too
the
much,
same time.
really?
Yeah, because it's
Explain.
like it's
What's too much
It's
about
too
it?
much crazy, not enough money.
Wait, say that again?
Too much crazy, not enough money.
For who?
For me
Not enough money for you to spend, or not enough money for you to get? Like
to
what-
receive. But maybe like when I'm not in a relationship, it'll be different.
There's still like sponsors that Kate hasn't introduced you to.
Alright, I don't know everyone. Stop making it seem like that. I don't know everyone. I don't have sponsors.
Also, this is a public podcast, so let's
Yeah, no,
let's
for
be
real.
let's
That's
keep
the
it
other
safe.
thing. I'm like, I already have to block one person from this. I don't like. There's already one person like, fuck, I said too much. You gotta be blocked. I don't know what else to tell you.
But yeah, like at this point, it's just like, you know, it's cool, but at the same time, like I feel like the like Miami girl, I don't really fit that category, and I'm okay with that. Like I don't need to fit in there, but at the same time,
So why are you in the streets then? Because that's a Miami girl.
I mean, I'm not. You say I'm in the streets.
You say she's never.
You say she's in the streets, too.
So first of all, when I think in the streets, like if you've been here for a year,
Yeah,
if
I
you're
think
in
a
the
little
streets, you
something.
fucked like a person.
What did you
a
do
month.
last
You're-
weekend?
No, but no. For
You
me,
tell
if you're in the streets, you
Then
fucked
what'd
like
you
a
do last
person. Like you
weekend?
fucked 12 people in the last year. Like if you're in the streets, you fucked a significant amount of people.
Last weekend,
I don't think so. I don't think we're in the streets.
I went to the club with my girls.
What club?
Live.
Live. And that was only club you went to? Mm-hmm. You only went out one time last week?
I went out more than once, but
That sounds like the streets to
maybe
me.
it's hard to remember it now.
Wow.
That sounds like the streets to me.
Okay.
And so, but that's my whole point. You're saying like you're not in the streets, or like you're not a Miami girl, but you're acting like one.
But it's also been like 30 days. So
30 days since when?
Since last
since I've been acting like a Miami girl,
What are you doing this weekend?
I don't really have real plans.
We were talking about how guys like kind of get you, right? How they get you. So tell me, like, what brings like make you open up to a guy, like brings the wild out of you, like to have like wild sex? Like what does it take for a guy to get there? Like how does that come out? Like how does he bring that out of you? Like what does it take?
Okay, for me, I think it requires intimacy and spontaneity.
To like do things you've never done before.
Yeah.
And you're open to it.
Yeah, I'm open to it.
And it's like, do you have to trust him to a certain point, or is it just like you just like him?
No, I definitely have to trust him. He has to be like the right person.
The right person, but you're not looking for the right person now.
I mean, like, I am looking for the right person, but in a certain sense. Like, the right person still in a short-term sense.
Explain. Like, what do you mean the right person in the short term can turn into the right person in long term?
But it's not turning into long-term. And, like...
Is that because you're blocking it?
Perhaps. But... Maybe not but just, like, perhaps because I'm I want to leave it open.
Leave it open to like the relationship you're talking about. Like leave what open?
Leave it open in the sense that like I still need to have.
You want freedom.
Right.
So you still like, but if he opens you up to that point, aren't you gonna want to see him more? Like if he really like brings something out of you didn't even know you had, you're not gonna want to see him again?
I'm gonna want to see him again, but I don't know. Next question.
Caitlin, please.
What's the question?
Like what does it take for a guy to get kind of all of you, like to bring out that wild side, to do things that you never thought you would do with him?
So right now, so I've been talking a lot, obviously, to my best friends from Rhode Island, who I've been best friends with forever, and it's cuffing season right now in Rhode Island. It's fall. Everyone's like, yeah, we're about to go pick pumpkins. We're doing our thing. Like it's about to be cold. We're about to nap together. Like do our thing. Like it's not cuffing season in Miami. We're going out on yachts. We're gonna be out together every weekend. It's warm. We're doing our thing. Like it is not cuffing season in Miami. Like in Rhode Island, like you're going out. You're gonna go pumpkin picking. You're gonna go apple picking. You're gonna do all this cute.
I get
fall
it.
shit.
So you meet a guy on a yacht.
I'm not there. Like the point
No,
that
and you meet a guy on a yacht, right? And he like blows your mind, says some shit you never thought you would do.
it's still.
Like do you
All right,
do you let him go that far with you, or do you like what's your boundaries?
So usually my first few times picking up with them, like we're not going that far. Like if I'm not there with you, I'm not there with you. We're not doing that. So I think there's probably been one time where I've gone that far with someone that I wasn't there yet with, whatever, and it just happened. And it was like, okay, it's been good since then. But I don't really have a good answer to that in the real situation things. Like I don't know if I met someone and I hadn't been there. Like I don't know. I don't really know.
What makes you trust the guy?
If we've already been so there's someone that I've already had a threesome with, already done this shit with, and it's like, yeah, like we met in this situation. I already met with you and another girl, and after that, like I'm not jealous. Like I've already been with you and another girl. Like I don't give a fuck what you're doing, really. Like, and that's not necessarily healthy. Like I know that, but like being in Miami, like I don't.
So Miami
Yeah.
just brings out the worst in you.
It kind of brings out the worst in me. Yeah, like I know that. You know, I know that.
Are you ready for that, Jasmine? For it to bring out the worst in you? Now that you're single and in the streets?
Maybe.
Maybe you're looking.
Maybe.
So you're excited a little bit. You want to see what it has to offer?
Like I've hooked up with guys
Excited
and girls
is a
that's like
strong
they
word.
like.
Yeah.
Curious, maybe.
Sure.
Better. No. Okay, so let's move on. Any questions for me?
What are you looking for right now?
Yeah, you
Um,
mentioned the concept of hoe phase
Yeah,
that's
several
hoe phase.
times. So,
Okay.
how would you define that, and how would you describe that
In terms from a male point of view?
from your
Or
point of view
From my point of view.
as a male? I'm assuming.
I mean, I feel like men are always in a whole phase. Like, I feel like they're always trying to like get the next woman and conquer them, and like whether they like them after that or not, that's up to that guy's preference, or like how it happened, or them, or I don't know. That's up to the certain guy. And so, I mean, it's for me, like I'm not really like there because like I'm so focused on work, and like me, like just like that excites me. Like maybe earlier in my life, like, you know, chasing women and doing all this shit would excite me, but now, I mean, I like peace. I like doing business. I like my passions, and that's what excites me now. Is like, you know, me actually chasing my passions and doing things that like make me feel fulfilled.
So, what would it take for you
Yeah, what would it
to, you know, go crazy or whatever?
I think it would take thank you for joining us today at French Kiss and Tell. Caitlin, thank you. Jasmine, thank you. Wonderful conversation, wonderful guest.